Welcome everybody to part 7 of Let's Make a Park. Today we're going to be working on a rock and roll park. I have an interesting take for a new coaster that you guys have probably not seen me build yet. I don't know if I got it quite right, but we're going to have fun with it today and it should be an interesting one as we try to figure out how to make a racing style coaster. Now, it is inspired by Stardust Racers. I did start it. We already have 2 launches, but we are not done. We still need to wrap it up and do our finale. And as you can see now, we do have it testing currently like that. So we're just going to watch them kind of go through this whole motion. Now, I will say when they open, we don't, obviously I don't have a rating yet, so we don't know how they're going to be just quite yet. This one's going to be interesting though, because building this on stream is going to be quite loud. So what I'm going to do now is just turn the game down a little bit so that you guys can hear me and it's not going to be too loud. So yeah, we'll get making this coaster very soon. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit, maybe about right there. Just we don't need it so loud. So there we go. We are making a racing coaster today though. Should be good, should be interesting. Um, We're going to go ahead and finish it up now. As we see our coasters reach the same spot at the same time, it means we're good to go. So we're just going to work on some of these pacing elements that we're going to do. And it should be interesting. So one thing I want to say is that I've never ridden Stardust Racers. I don't know what that ride's like. I couldn't tell you. But if there's anything I know that it kind of just like swoops back around on itself. It has an airtime inversion hill and some other elements. I didn't quite build it too heavily inspired by Stardust Racers, just the colors and the idea it's a racing coaster. Now there's moments of overlap and everything like that. But I think what I'm gonna do is have an overbank section right here with my racers. I'm gonna do this here and then have them come back down together. It's going to make sure that they kind of hit this element together. I want to make sure that they're good. So we're just going to kind of bring that out like so. And we're going to have it do a little airtime element up in here. And we're gonna try bringing them like this. Because right here I'll have it come up like that. And we'll kind of bring it around. And that way, so when they, when the other one comes this way, it'll like be turned in on each other. So it'll be pretty cool. We're gonna turn this a little bit more, like so. And then we're just gonna bring this out like that. And have them drop into it. This whole part, I kind of want it to wave back in and out. You'll see here why in a second. Because we're going to have them take off in their own directions. For now, we're going to stop. I might place this down because that looks interesting. I kind of would like it if the track did something like that. But we're going to go ahead and stop right there for the yellow one. And we're going to go ahead and complete our green one while they are testing. So that we can then see. They should be launching. I don't know why they're not. It must have glitched out when I started editing them again after a while. So we're going to go ahead and hit test on these. So we can get launched. Maybe we get them to take off together. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know why this is, okay, we'll start our test here, and then see if we can't get it to, okay, there we go. So, yeah, we're just going to paste these out, and, whoa, I'm getting lost in my own track. We're going to go to the green, we're going to work on the green here to match the yellow. So we're just going to skip ahead a little bit, just so we can get both trains at the same time. If you start one, the first one you start is going to go first. Oh, here we go. Well, never mind, I spoke too soon. So this is going to be tricky, just for the simple fact that, yeah, it just comes in very, very sharp here. Green might have to do a special element here, just to match. I don't know. We'll see what we can pull off here. I think if we proportion it correctly, should be able to do something pretty cool here. I'm not sure quite yet what we're gonna pull off because I haven't seen the trains come this way. That looks way too tight for that. I'm gonna drop this back down like so and extend it a little bit. Oh, we have a rollback. That is not good. Well, okay then. Well, that kind of halts us for a second. I'm gonna have to rebuild that. Uh, Great. All right. Well, let's get to making this get past that. So we're getting a little ahead of ourselves on these, and it's tough. It's difficult building two coasters at the same time, trying to get them to sync up. What a challenge, you know? But I did have practice with this, and I gotta say, the one I made practicing wise, for never doing it before, and then, not understanding exactly how it worked at first, I was like, okay. And then I watched Stardust Racers POV for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, so that's a little inspo. But that's all I really pulled from it is that element, the beginning and the airtime like inversions. That's about it though. Other than that, I kind of have them, you know, dancing with each other here for a little bit, catching up, and they both do kind of like a staggered launch. But the way it times out down here is pretty nice. So they pass each other there. Both come outward, and one does a roll. The other does this kind of inversion roll to a banking. The green then catches up to this spot right here. Airtime at different moments, still impactful though. And then they do a flip over each other, and then they crest into this part. And now we're going to see if red can make it. If red cannot make it, we'll have to lower that quite a bit. And it did not make it. So that is unfortunate. So, I might have to break this up at the top. I'm going to break this over here. Where you keep, well, I was going to keep some of that, but I guess I'm just going to have to drop it right here. And just hope that this works. And then I'll just auto join it. And we're going to smoothen the hell out of that because that looks terrible. I don't know why it doesn't auto smooth, but beats me. So that looks good now. We're going to go ahead and stop this, I guess, because now it's stalled. And we'll start it again. Nice. So we're going to just go ahead and fast forward. Looks like we just got green running. It's kind of annoying when they do this like one at a time thing because of the syncing. If one tests before the other, it will just completely not go. And yeah, you can't rush it or nothing like that. So it's kind of annoying when you first start it, but once you do that first time and they're out of sync the first time, it syncs up pretty good. But we're going to slow it down here just to kind of see our motion coming out of this. As you can see, they both do their loop at the same timing and everything like that, pass at the same point, same time, everything like that. Some interesting, custom elements in there I made. I didn't go for quite any accuracy to Stardust Racers, just kind of like the inspiration for the type of ride and color scheme. Nothing really to it other than that. We're going to watch our red though. Hopefully we don't stall out again. And we barely did that. That's not going to work in our kind of coaster situation here though. We can't have any elements like that, so we're going to have to figure out a way to not maybe smoothen this even more. So we just can't have that element. We cannot have it come up like this either. I think that's slowing us down quite a bit. So we just smoothen out this whole section. Maybe we'll get it to flatten out a bit like that. Because we really, we got to keep this low. I can't lose any speed out of it. And so, it's got to stay paced. If it doesn't stay paced, then we stall out. Or we have, hang time moments. And you know how hard it would be to do a hang time moment for both these coasters in this situation? Yeah. But I do know that they hit this point right here where the green's at the same time. So knowing that they get to this relative spot at the same time, I figure we can get through it now. Looks pretty good from here though. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this one, and we're gonna edit our green one and see if we can't get this space up. Because I'm pretty confident it's gonna make it over that element now. What's gonna be really screwy is that this is gonna have to go above, and it's gonna have to follow. We're gonna go around like this though. See, I don't know. I don't even know if the green would make it over this spot right here. It's kind of gonna be interesting right here. But we have good spots here. I had to add the corkscrew for both of them on there. Like I said, we're not going for any kind of different ride. It's just I mean, it is a different ride between both of them, but there's no airtime versus inversion. None of that going on. You get both on both. It's just how you get it. That's the difference. So, gonna see how it times up until this point, and then I can go further. Because we're at the end stages of our coast already. I kind of cheated and went ahead and built most of this off stream, so you know, kind of got ahead of myself. But we're just gonna watch this right here. See, it's very chill out of the yellow one. I just want to watch it down there as it kind of makes it up that way, and very slow that way. Okay, so we might have to do a second launch. So we're just gonna see about that. But as for this, we're gonna have to come up with something because, yikes, yeah, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. But if I do an overbank like this and give the other coaster like a head chopper moment, does it work? And then that we'll find out. 'Cause, you know, I kind of like the overbanking, but I think we need to turn it a little bit like so, like that. That way, so we're not completely upside down for a sustained, like a super sustained amount of time. And we can kind of have it angled out like this, and then we can shorten it up to have match the airtime hills too. But I don't. I think I should have done that right here. It's gonna be a little difficult. Like I said, this is tricky. I still haven't been able to really figure these out just quite yet, but you know, I'm getting there. It's only my second one I've made, so you know that might have a lot to do with it. But we're gonna go ahead and do this whole bit right here. I'm gonna flip it up like this, and then we'll turn it even more to the side, kind of like this whole bit right here. And then only one can hope that we made it right to where the green can make its course and we don't have to rebuild none of that. And we're gonna have to auto tunnel here a little bit. A lot is gonna be desired with the scenery to accompany a lot of the dead space in this one. So I think we're good here though. It's gonna build that. I don't know if our green will make it. I just go ahead and do it because I have a feeling I might just increase the speed because we're just stalling out in a lot of spots. But we'll go ahead and smoothen this out before we get here. Turn this down a little bit so we don't lose a lot of our aggressive banking. It was intentional. Looks funky. Is funky. I don't know if that's yeah, screw it. It's gonna work. It's gonna work because we said so. And of course I shouldn't have backed out of that. But we should just go ahead and ride this, right? I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't ridden a single one of these yet throughout the entire building process. So I have no idea at all what this is even gonna really be like. Okay, a little slow. Maybe we can add some stuff here. Or maybe like right after this spot we can drop it. I feel like this is not long enough. I don't know. I want at least 2-minute ride between these two racers, but you know, if we have a spot where both of them do that, um, you know, obviously we can edit that. I can play with a lot of the motor speeds and whatnot. Well, we'll just roll out of here and we'll just watch. We'll just observe what's going on. So yeah, I gotta say I really like the pacing of the yellow one a lot more than the yellow one. Or the sorry, I like the pacing of the green one a lot more than the yellow one. That's what I'm gonna say. Holy crap! But yeah, other than some elements that just need smoothened out, I think overall that's pretty good. Um, I only saw a couple crossovers a couple time on the green one, and yeah, the track isn't perfectly lined up. We're gonna ignore that, obviously. But for these being the way they are, and the way I had to stagger the launches like this and everything, I think for the most part they're lined up pretty good. If you were riding back row on both of these, I feel like you see all of it. So yeah, definitely not bad. I would say the green definitely could use some work. Probably right around here I could help some of the banking of that. What we should worry about more, I guess, is finishing this up now. Now that we know that they both kind of coast into that last spot, um, I might be able to see what we can do out of this drop. Because yeah, they need to end right here, and I don't know if I want to do a fourth launch or not, or yeah, right. I got four launches in here. I got a right or two, three. Yeah, we got three now. I don't want four. We cannot add a fourth. We just can't. There's no way. That would make it way too long, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, but knowing that they both stall out kind of at these steps, I can drop the green down under right over here and have it come back around and you know anchor itself in, and then I can have the yellow kind of yeah, the yellow kind of ends right there. So we can end it a multitude of ways here, but I think what we're gonna do is just come back the same way we started, like this, and we're gonna circle around, and then we're gonna just go up and enter our brake run this way. So I think if I drop them and just have them kind of side by side, and then come back up in the middle, I think that's what's gonna do us some justice here. Not justice, but at least finish it up in the right way. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do a drop here. It's gonna be kind of funky, so we're gonna shorten this up a little bit. Um, we're gonna do an outward bank, and maybe even do like that. Yeah, I know this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be nuts. You guys are gonna be like, "What in the world?" But trust me, the process is undefeated. It's gonna look worse before it looks better. You know what I'm saying? It's just that kind of thing. And we'll go ahead and finish this up though. So we don't need a tremendously long, you know, brake run or anything like that. Nothing crazy. It's already kind of coasting at this point, so we can let it come in and coast. I don't necessarily need to add a block zone. I don't even know if I have enough people in my park to really populate this ride like that. Um, but for what it's worth, could be something to look at. So I think what I need to do though is come out this way because what's gonna have to happen is a cutback element there at the end to kind of finish it. Um, I don't want to interfere with this at all, so I want to stay away from that as far as possible. I'm going to kind of custom make it, I assume, just with how this looks. Is just I don't even know if I can shrink down that element, and I don't even know where it's at to be honest with you. Right here, actually, maybe if I can find a small version of this element, and maybe it's in the next tab. I have no idea. Couldn't quite tell you. Okay, yeah, here we go. And as small as we can make that, that's not gonna make it up there. So we have to custom make our own. This could be nice, right? So maybe I say we just do something where it comes out like that. We're gonna have to shrink our size quite tremendously, but we're gonna have to do something maybe like this and bring it back in. It's gonna suck. It's weird, but is what it is. I just hope that the ride smoothness, whoa. Okay, yeah, nah, that's not at all what I was going for. We're going for crazy angles here. Maybe it'll give it to us now. Yeah, we can try this. Hey, perfect timing, right? And it stalls out. So we're going to smoothen this out quite a bit, see if it won't drop for us a little bit more. Shrinking up just a little bit, and then maybe we can even do something with this whole spot itself and just drop it. Yeah, a little funky, but I like it. And we just gotta hope that it makes it, right? See, what I could do now is maybe just cut just a tiny bit, and I could put an LSM, like a little tiny strip of LSM, maybe like 2 meters. I could put 2 meters of LSM and just shoot it through this, like at maybe like 15. But we'll see. I believe that it can make it now, but we need to finish the yellow up, and then we'll worry about the banking, the finishing, the timing, the pacing, all that good stuff afterwards. It's just about getting to the finish that's a little bit more important. Now, um, where's yellow? Oh, there we go. If we could get to yellow, that'd be nice, right? So let's go here and let's figure this one out. So our green drops like that. Um, we're gonna have to do something a little different with the yellow. Not sure how it's gonna work out, but it needs to kind of follow along with what our green's doing. So I might have to even shorten that up a little bit more. Yeah, probably. Oop, did not mean to do that. A little ahead of myself there. A little heavy on the eggs. Yeah. I don't know the supports will probably like auto clear on their own. What we need to do is like split this gap. You see that there? Yeah. That's gonna be tricky. It's gonna look funky. It's gonna look weird. It's gonna look more weird than right for a second. Just fully bear with me. It's gonna look interesting. Yeah, that definitely does not clear. Hmm. I'm just wondering if I'm even gonna have speed for this because I don't think it could climb that steep at all. So the only answer is to drop it, but then we kind of didn't give ourselves room there. So this is tricky. This is the problem solving part. Like how would you do this? I mean, I could shorten it up a little bit and see if I can't drop it in there sooner at a wider angle, knowing that this will delete. I can go, or hopefully it'll like delete. I hope the game's not like bugging. Yeah, talk about if you ever seen something like that, right? I think that's interesting. And then, yeah, here we go. And I can just do something simpler for this ending. I don't necessarily need it to be crazy, because our finish line for whatever the ride could be is just maybe like the last spot they both cross at the same spot. You know, everybody wins when you ride this. Doesn't need to be any losers. You know, not like other racers where like they kind of make one quicker than the other every once in a while or whatever, or one wins all the time. I don't want that. I kind of want both of them to win at the same time. You know, I don't know. Just a thought. And yeah, I know my supports are red and not black. They should be black. I'm gonna change them to black here after this. But yeah, no. I know that's probably been bothering somebody watching. I'm sorry about that. I really am. I'm sorry about that. My bad. Someone was like, "Damn, it's really, really a problem that they're red." And I know. Okay, we might just let this one auto finish, right? Right? That's kind of a cool element. I don't hate it. I just don't know if it'll make it. That's the problem. But what I could also do is go in here and turn this all the way up. And okay, yeah, we can't have it like that. We might be able to get away with it like that if we did something like this. Yeah, maybe not that. Maybe not that hard. And then if we can angle this one a little bit, so it like faces you away, but then it can do this little number. And then we could even smoothen this out a little bit more so that we can make it. Because I have not seen it come up this way. And I'm kind of worried that it might, and it might just have something to do with the height of it. Yeah, see, I'm going to redo that part because of this. We'll just make it outwards. We'll just do a, yeah, that doesn't even look right. I'm going to have to change this, oh, okay, don't do that game. That was a bit weird. But we'll bring it down. Okay, for some reason it doesn't want to expand the way I was trying to get it to go. I was trying to bring it down too. Okay, that's better. Okay, I guess that's what we're stuck at and what we're stuck with. Um, for this setup, I mean, I might have to just gut this out and redo it. Yeah, we can't do nothing, so. Uh, let's get this going. And let's hope that it can make it up the entire trek and make it up this final hill. It's super. I will say it's super hard building these without even looking at anything, no blueprints, and never riding one. I couldn't tell you how they exactly work, like what they're supposed to encapsulate, or even any of that. You know, I've only ever seen like a YouTube video of Stardust Racers, and that's the only thing I have. I don't even know if any other ride exists like this. I have no idea. So we're just gonna hurry up and try to get this yellow one to go. I know I could probably look at the test results for the green one. Kind of scared to, not gonna lie, y'all. But we have to wait, because if I click circle now, it'll enter testing for the yellow one. So we'll hurry up into this spot. You know, once I know that, we can get to this ending with the yellow, we should be good. Seeing that green, if the green can make it, I'm kind of confident yellow can make it. There's just no way. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I might have to redo the entire pacing of yellow. Okay, so as you saw, we didn't make it. Surprise, surprise, right? Um, we're gonna have to change some things about this. So let's problem solve real quick. And we're gonna have to lower a lot of things, smoothen a lot of things. Make sure this doesn't intersect anywhere though. And yeah, I'm a little surprised because I thought we had enough momentum coming off of that to make it. But it looks like actually I'm gonna have to delete this whole section because I just can't have that intersecting that and make it work. And then this I'm okay with sacrificing out. We just don't need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try something maybe with the autofill there, maybe like or not autofill, but the autocomplete. And it still didn't work. It's still too big for what we need it, and it won't shrink it any further. So we need to turn it a little bit. Not that way. Yeah, I just think that's too close. I don't know if that'll work. It works. It works for the one below, but it just doesn't. I just don't know if it'll make it up it or not. That's what's really the problem here is figuring out how to end this yellow one. Because where's our last spot of like where they meet up, and then that's everything I need to know. You know what? I got an idea. I have a simple solution right here. You see, you can put this down, and then if I just put, oh, actually I can't. Nah, it's too steep of an incline, isn't it? Yeah, I got an idea. I got an idea. It may not be the best, but it's gonna work. Everything's trial by error, or trial and error, but trial by error. You know what I mean. Okay. And now, if I just put an LSM here, yeah, the other side doesn't have it necessarily, but hey, like I said, it just needs to end. That's all we need. I don't care about nothing else but this ending at this point. Everything else is in between. So we can only go up to 20 degrees. And at least we can match it though. We can at least do this. And then, oh, with that, yeah, no. But if we do that, and then we'll just have to adjust our speed to make sure we're not going to come in here, flying too fast. I think we should be okay. I think this should work. Maybe not. But let's get to this point so we can watch. As long as they come into the station around, the same time, that's okay. It looks like we were so close. We were extremely close to pulling that off. It just needs to get this acceleration up maybe 2 extra feet per second. And then we might be able to just get that. Oh, it's not going to go now. Okay, great. Well, and I will just have to wait. This is, like I said, I was debating even streaming making this coaster just because I knew it was going to take a little bit with the one at a time once you mess up on the other side. I kind of figured, but it's all right, y'all. We'll get this figured out. All right. So now we should be good to go. I hope. I hope that extra bit of acceleration can now propel it around that hill. I think the LSM is necessary just for how the layout went. And yeah, it's not pretty. I could have just came in straight, but you know, I kind of rushed it. If I would have taken maybe extra 30 minutes, we would have got it perfect. But yeah, holy crap, this is frustrating. They say, just don't do it. Just don't do it. We're just gonna have to throw it like hell. You know, screw it. It just needs to get thrown past that point. Everything else after that, I don't care about. As long as it comes in smooth, doesn't go crazy, which with the speed we're doing right now, we can't even make it in. It's kind of nuts. And yeah, this layout looks absolutely crazy. I also don't know the results of our excitement on the green one. I don't know any of the ratings of the green one yet. I'll check them out after we complete the yellow. It does help that there is another coaster running right next to it, I will say. That definitely helps with entertainment. But yeah, for me to pull this off, I feel like, you know, this is the second one I've always made that's raced. It's kind of interesting. Shit, I mean, 2 days ago, I didn't even know you could actually, like, really do this. I kind of just thought people winged it. But, yeah, without the numbers, and we'll do some ride POVs here in a second, it already looks pretty good, honestly. Just from off the ride itself. Watching them kind of pace together. That's kind of cool. You know, I didn't add any elements here, though, for the green to slow down and catch up with the red. It's kind of my bad, but hey, you know. I tried to do it here with this little cut, but see the LSM can now kick that above. See if red can finish, and it can. Let's see if they drop into the station around the same time. A little fast on the red part. That's fine. All I know is we successfully done it. We have now succeeded in making both of these do that. If I want to time it up better, I could probably add an LSM right here on this flat part of green. I probably will eventually. But, you know, for everything considered, I think that's pretty good, honestly. I think we did, you know, for everything without scenery, you know, just making the ride itself, I think that's pretty good. Ooh, yeah, like I said, we got to work on banking. So maybe we should do that part now and get that rating up. 'Cause I think a lot of that's just caused by the banking issues. So I know for sure, um, you know, there's gonna be some spots in here, right here, that's gonna be a problem. We need to bank this up. Oh wait, make sure we're going the right way first. And then we'll kind of try to make that match, because, oof, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Because that's our corkscrew. Yeah, but I think that shape will do a lot better in hindsight. Looks like it even keeps its speed a little bit better. Just trying to watch that right now. Make sure those still pass at that spot. Perfect. So no, than that, we'll just go ahead and fix some of these other spots. You know, this roll might have to come out. It might be a little too aggressive. I know a lot of this right here also needs a little touch up. We'll do this with like we'll do a smooth strength of like 2 and hit it like once. We'll just hit it once. I'm gonna go here and do that. We just need to, you know, kind of correct some of these spots here. Maybe even drop some of these hills a little bit. That's a good head chopper spot. Yeah, we'll just go in here and just kind of, you know, brush up some of these spots, make sure they're good. We'll do big sections together so we're not taking out too much. I don't want it to get over aggressive. But then again, we need to make sure our transitions are good and that we're not hitting anything too crazy. You know, it doesn't want to. You don't want to jerk people around. So you start doing that. That's where your lat G forces get too high, and you got head banging moments, and people will just like not do it. It's like Rougarou at Cedar Point. You know, just don't have a ride like that, and you know you should be good. So that's good now. Just make sure that this gets better with it. Um, you know, I can't even see nothing like that. So I think we should go ahead and get the yellow done. Let's see the test score on this. I guarantee it's gonna be pretty bad. Yeah. So I guess we gotta do the same thing. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing. It's kind of funny they got around the same. You know, that's I expected like at least a 6, but to know we got both 5.4 on both of them, yeah, yikes. But you know, we'll go ahead, do our light touch-ups. You know, just make it nice, make it smooth, make it better. You know, two's not gonna do too much, but you know, at least adds a little bit more refinedness. It could help with your pacing a lot. You know, just doing a couple of these and a lot of these like custom inversions, it like will time them better, or at least make it make more sense and not like have a forceful reaction. So you don't want to smack it at anything. So let's go ahead and swim this a little bit. Kind of try to match a little bit closer to that height of the green one. And we'll hit this a couple times right here. That's just a interesting spot. I don't know if that was like swinging back and forth while it's upside down, and that might be what's causing some of the lower rating to go. But we'll just come in here, and again, big sections. We don't want to take out nothing crazy. Hit it a couple times on the 2 there, because you know this yellow one was a bit interesting trying to get everything around like that for it. So um, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit start test on this one. We're gonna refresh on this. I don't think we got an updated score on this, so we're gonna hit start on that one, and we're just gonna skip through a bunch. I'm gonna make sure that our rating's good first before we write it, just knowing what I know. Um, you know, just gotta see. But if you weren't watching the last episode, we did make this right here. Went ahead and it's supposed to be like Magnum from Cedar Point, um, and I called it the Lightning. This is Rock and Roll Park, so kind of like the Metallica song "Ride the Lightning." Get it? Ride the Lightning there. And it came out in the same kind of era. Yeah, so it explains itself. It's kind of perfect actually. So now that we got this though, yeah, our ratings are still not great. Let's go ahead and just ride and let's just watch. Let's just see what is going on here. Mind you, I haven't done this at all, so I haven't ridden the ride yet. I could probably bank these a lot more, to be honest. They look alright though so far. They don't need to go too crazy. So we do have this kind of holding section here. You know, honestly, I probably could just up the speed of the launch, right? And we could just, because I feel like we can go faster through this section. I feel like that's where we're gonna go wrong at, right? But see, then if I go too fast into this part, then it starts ripping. So I don't know, we'll see. See, that's crazy. Like, that's good. I feel like that's good. Where's our 5 coming at? The ending? Probably. 'Cause so far, what I'm seeing is pretty good. There's our second upside down moment, so. Yeah, and that was actually pretty smooth. Wow. I mean, maybe right here I could see like a pacing being an issue, but then again, it's just paced. It's really not. It's not like it's super slow. It's just paced. The game makes it look slow, but it's really not that bad. Maybe right here. I think this is our problem. This is what's dropping us so low. Yeah, I think to be fair, if I would take that last little part out and add our fourth launch, if we just did it and just did like a little quick turnaround element and then just ended the ride, I think that would tremendously get our entertainment up a little bit. You know, our fear is a little high though. I don't probably that's all the upside down spots. You know, like when the other coaster's right underneath of it and it's like, wow. Very interesting though. I'm just surprised I got such a low rating for this because when I did the first iteration on my other park, I'd gotten a 7 on both of them. And so I'm just, you know, I went with a little different of a formula here for this one this time. Um, Yeah, I don't think I could really change that first initial launch speed. I don't think that could change. I think the only thing I can do now at this point is change that ending. You know, I mean, yeah, I could possibly do the faster beginning, but that's gonna be really aggressive on the inverted airtime hills. You know, I could, yeah, I think the ending, if we just did like a little bit of a launch section, they both did a return element, it'd be kind of crazy. And they looked like they intersected there. They didn't. Trust me, they don't. I looked at it. You wouldn't even have hand room because these type of restraints are a little restrictive there. You can't quite necessarily do that if it was realistic, I guess. But this here I could bank. Maybe I could bank that, and then the green one can bank, and then directly right here, right at that spot where they're together a little bit. I think if I maybe could time it out a little bit better, I possibly could do something with it. But yeah, I'm really shocked by the low rating like that. I've never gotten this low on something. Are they both the exact same score too? No, this is even worse. Wow. Well, we do have the foundation down though, I will say. So there's that at least. But yeah, I think this is gonna take us a couple parts on its own, just on its own and everything like that. But I think the ending needs to get taken out. We need to kind of need to bring green out just a little bit more and line it up straight with this one on top of itself. And then we need to do a launch segment to where it comes out, does like kind of a lapping situation here, something like that. Maybe even have green end up on the left and yellow. That way so they can both do like a helix and then cross paths again and then end. I think that's uh I think that's what we need to do. So I think these endings are a little screwy. And I think if we just got to that spot again where we could launch them together, they both did like a turnaround element, came back around together. I think we're cooking, you know. But for pacing wise and everything like that, you just getting the science of the ride down. I think we did good. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We had to build two coasters together in one, and it's challenging. But we're all about the challenges. I think for what we got done here today on this one, it's a start. We know what we need to do to fix it. I just know what we need to do to fix it is gonna take me another hour and a half, and I'll just say that for the next part, yo. So believe me, might be the longest project that I've done in a minute because I want to make sure that we get a good coaster like this in here, and I want to make sure we get closer to our 7 rating like I know we can. So I think if I really can get this last little ending part down, and I think if they both can time out well together where they're sitting next to each other, I think that is just going to be, the icing on the cake for this ride. I think we'll really get it done. But without further ado, thank you guys for watching. I know that I wish I could stream all night a little bit longer, but I do have some things coming up. I'm going to try streaming sometime either Monday or tomorrow or Tuesday coming up for you guys. Want to try getting these in before I do a big move. So we'll be moving on Friday. So we might not be able to get a stream together or anything like that until about Sunday or Monday yet. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get maybe one or two of these in before I do my move. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't already, like the video and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys for part 8 on the next one. We'll go ahead and fix this ending. Thank you for watching.